As medical schemes prepare for 2026, contribution increases, benefit adjustments, and member value remain key discussion points. We asked Medshield to share their perspective on pricing assumptions, benefit design changes, and the challenges facing medical schemes in the current environment. And today, I'm speaking to Glen Sikosana, new business development executive at Medshield. Glen, thank you for your time.
Thank you very
Can,
much, Renette, and for having me.
can you give me a high-level overview of Medshield's increases in contributions for 2026?
Yeah, once again, thank you very much for the opportunity and the platform you've created for Medshield Medical Scheme. Upfront, let me just declare that our contribution and benefit enhancements for 2026 are obviously subject to the regulator's approval, which is a protocol that we have to ensure. So from a contribution perspective, Renette, I always would have wanted to talk about the benefit first, which then when we get to the increases, you will see why, and I'm smiling, because I really think Medshield has gone an extra mile, for the members, also taking into account the economic factors, in particular issues of affordability. But just to be, outright in terms of our contribution increase, we are looking at an average of about 7.5%. So that is the average of across all our options. Interestingly enough, it suggests that 72% of our total principal members will enjoy just around 7%, contribution increase, which is exciting because we are talking a bigger population of the members that we serve. From a range perspective, you're looking at anything between 7% at the lowest and around 9.9% at the highest. And then obviously everything else, it's in between. But I want to highlight again that the majority of our members will enjoy a 7%, which is the lowest, across the board.
Okay.
Hope I've responded, to your question.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm happy with that. And I think it also gives us a good idea of where your majority of your members lies within your scheme. How does that compare to the inflation, medical cost inflation, and to the guideline from the CMS, the Council for Medical Schemes?
Yeah, I'm glad actually you're referencing the guideline, because it's exactly that. It is just a guideline.
Yes.
The reality is that medical schemes are also obligated to remain sustainable. So I can almost vouch that if you go with the 3 or 3.5% as the guideline, the reality is that the sustainability of the business then becomes very questionable in the medium to long term. So what the guideline does generally not take into consideration are factors like aging. As you know, the population is getting older every year, and you have to factor that in, because for every 1 year, that any member is realizing every year, your claims increase by rough about 2%, and that's what the actuarial scientists are actually telling us. So you have to factor that in. You also have to factor in things like utilization. Every year, depending on what schemes are dealing with, utilization can either go up or down. We also know about issues of seasonality. For instance, the flu season, you see that utilization actually goes up. In fact, let's not forget the 2020 year, where because of COVID, utilization actually dropped, particularly for planned procedures like surgery and stuff.
Yes.
So while that actually went down, 2-3 years post-COVID, we are seeing that actually utilization has actually gone up. In some procedures, that utilization has actually surpassed the pre-COVID, pre-COVID year. So you have to factor that in into your costing when you do the contribution increase, because failing that, it means you're underpricing, and it soon, catches up with you, down the line.
Before we talk about the exciting parts, the benefits that's changed, the exciting stuff you've added, just a quick question on out of interest, what do you see in terms of younger people? Are they only taking hospital plans, or what is the age thing? And do people stay longer? Can people afford older people to stay longer on schemes? Just high level, what do you see?
Yeah, look, and this is just my personal opinion, but it does seem to be an industry understanding. By design, the concept of a medical aid is based on cross-subsidization, right? And that comes into play where you are assuming that your younger population will cross-subsidize your older population, and their turn will come when they get to that age, right? In the back end, the understanding is the fact that these members should have been a condition of employment, or it must have been a requirement to join a medical aid from the onset when somebody starts working. Now, the laws are not necessarily enforcing that, right? So there is a gap from a law perspective in terms of, enforcing people to join healthcare, right? Now, what that has actually resulted in is that um, only people that require healthcare cover, or let me put it this way, people only consider medical aids when they know they've got a need. And then it leaves the people that we are counting on to cross-subsidize having their own opinion on medical aids, and they usually opt out. So what then that creates a concept of what we call anti-selection, because then I know I can only join when I'm sick, or when I know I've got surgery coming. Only then do I. So that creates a problem in the industry, and as a result, that's why when you talk about challenges in the industry, the issue of cross-subsidization, it creates a challenge from a medical aid, from a collection perspective.
Yeah. Okay, let's get to the exciting part. What has changed? What has improved? What has been dropped? Talk to me.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're underlining excitement there, because really, for the contribution increases that I've announced, which when you benchmark against what other schemes have done, I really think we've gone an extra mile for our members. Just by the way, we've done our process slightly different. In fact, we've went out to our corporate brokers and said to them, just tell us where are we dropping a ball, in as far as product design is concerned. And we've really taken those input into consideration when we were developing our product for 2026. Now, just to name a few. So for instance, on the higher options, what we call our premium options, we've looked at, how do we give back to high premium paying members? On the savings side, because that option is a savings options, we've increased the savings allocation by 5% from 20 to 25. Now, this is the cherry on top. That 5%, it's not coming from the member. We're actually paying it from risk, which I don't think a lot of medical aids are usually doing, doing that. And then once again, on the savings allocations, historically, we used to allocate it on a 6 months basis, meaning the first 6 months we allocate, and then the second, 6 months we allocate. This time around, we are allocating the entire 25%, for the entire 12 months, and the understanding is that this is a premium option. Why restrict members while they are paying, premium contributions? The other benefits that we've looked into are based on what I call limits within the options itself, in particular oncology specialized drugs, very expensive generally. What we've done there is that the limit is around 437,000 per family. Now we've changed it on two levels. We've increased it to 500,000 per individual.
Oh.
Now you can, yeah. So I mean that's a huge one,
Yeah.
and I think that it talks to what a premium member actually pays, because
Yes.
we've opened it up, considering the cost of specialized drugs. The other one, which is really close to my heart, and it talks to societal problems, mental health.
Yeah.
We've really looked at that, critically. The benefits as it is, it's sitting at about 68,000 per family. We've increased that significantly to 100,000 per family. And once again, I mean, mental health is a problem, and
Yeah.
I think as a scheme we wanted to obviously seek to address mental health related problems. And then there's also other exciting stuff under the banner of predicting and preventing, right? And here we're looking to to technology, where we are introducing continuous glucose monitoring for your type 1 patients. Obviously, these are diabetic patients, but particularly 18 and below. Now, you could ask, but what's the point here? The point is these patients are required to do finger pricking multiple times a day. Now you can imagine finger pricking, doing your test. It's really a painful exercise for your under 18s. So a continuous glucose monitoring actually removes that, exercise of finger pricking. It's a patch which continuously tracks their glucose level throughout the day without finger pricking. And as a result, it then improves issues of compliance, with these young ones. That's one. We've also looked at our female population as far as mammograms are concerned. I think previously we used to allow mammograms on females over the ages of 40. We've changed that age to 30 years,
Okay.
which suggests that we want to start, picking up female-related, issues much earlier. And the tests are then allowed in 12 months. Previously, we only used to do them every 24 months.
That's
So
right.
the
Yes.
cycle has
Yes.
changed. It's every
That
12
is
months,
awesome. That is
and we've
awesome.
changed the age as well. We've looked at our optical benefits in terms of eye tests. Generally, medical schemes will tell you you do your eye test every 2 years. We've changed that to every 12 months. So every year we allow our members to to do our test. I can go on and on
I'm
and
waiting for
on.
the dental one. There's
Yes,
always challenges in the dental space.
right. Now on the dental one, and I look at one or two options. The dental special, the basic dentistry used to be paid from members' day-to-day benefits. Now we are removing the basic dentistry to be paid from specialized dentistry. Now, what that actually means to our members is that they are then able to use their day-to-day for other things. So you are expanding, that day-to-day simply by looking at how do you allocate the specialized dentistry. And then the issue of orthodontics as well. I mean, they can be quite expensive.
Yeah.
We are then moving that to be paid from specialized dentistry as well. So those are the two categories on dentistry that we've looked at.
That's a few great enhancements, and you really looked at what is happening, mental health, mammograms. That is the highest cancer in females, and I think generally it is the highest cancer. So that is great. Yes, people pick it up earlier, and the sooner you pick it up, the better, right?
The better.
For me, with a history of like dental stuff, I love the changes that you've made on dental. And I think a lot of people will smile about that because I feel that dental was a bit neglected for a long time. So that's really good to hear.
I hope that gives us an opportunity to sign you up.
No commitment from this side. What besides the age issue, what else do you think is really some of the really big challenges? Is the doctors' rates, any high level, anything else that you think for schemes challenging?
Yeah. So the one major industry challenge is fraud, waste, and abuse. And it cuts across all the schemes, right? The last stats that I saw suggest that the money that leaks out, categorized under fraud, waste, and abuse, it's in billions. So think about it. If Medshield was able to save that money, it suggests that over and above the enhancements that we have done now, we could have done more. But because of money that is leaking out, then we are unable to do more. And here I'm talking for the industry as a whole, right? So that is but the one biggest challenge that we see. The other one is the issue of general costs to healthcare access. Remember, the biggest driver for us is hospitalization. Now, if you're unable to negotiate, special rates with hospitals, by default, that cost it's defaulted to a member, and even then, I'm not necessarily blaming the hospitals because their services also comes at a cost. I'm just saying the general cost of a medical aid, it's not because of lack of schemes to be considerate. It's because of what is being charged to the medical aid, which then is being passed, to the members. And then lastly, just the issues of chronicity and healthcare in the country and globally, it's getting worse and worse every day. So it then suggests that issues of utilization are increasing and therefore creating problems. Now, to try and balance product design and costing and what the members need, it becomes a mammoth of a task. And this is why schemes
you never
are
sleep.
unable.
That's why you never sleep.
That too. But also, this is why we are unable to meet that 3.5, benchmark that is
100%.
set by the regulator.
100%.
So yeah. I hope I've responded to your question.
100%. I think we can talk for a very long time on a lot of things, also on the fraud aspect, but let's not delve into that now. One last question, and that's your message to brokers, the FAnews audience, that is.
Yeah. Look, we, from a broker perspective, we've always been working closely with them to unlock the real benefit for our members. But this year, I've been serving with Medshield for the last 8 years. This year, I think it's really the peak of what we are putting out there, and having to balance the enhancements together with the cost, to our members. And I always say that true tests, it's at the member level, because we've learned members vote with their feet. And from last year already, we are seeing that more and more members are really considering the Medshield brand, to be the one that would really fulfill their healthcare requirements. So exciting times. I'm really looking to the brokers to, really table Medshield at each and every one of their engagements and see what the brand can do for, and for the members out there.
Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And thank you what you do for members and that you are keeping up with what's happening out there. It's really exciting. Well done.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Renette. Really appreciate your time. Great.